You're welcome to another episode of the Journey series with Truthfully Evolving, and today I'll be talking about accountability. One thing I realized is people are so quick to point out other people for their misfortune. Well, the reason why I'm like this is because of what you did to me, mom. The reason why I'm like this is what you did to me, dad. The reason why I'm like this is what the society did to me. The reason why I'm like this is because the devil did this to me. People are so quick to call out people for what they did to them. And other times, this is because it feeds their ego. It makes them feel like, okay, if I put the blame on someone else, it makes me feel like I'm the victim here. So, but I need you to sometimes, or many times if possible, take accountability for your own actions. Call yourself to order. Ask yourself, where did I go wrong? Where did I mess up? What are the things that I did that got me to where I am? Because if you always point fingers at something outside of yourself, you are not solving the problem. What you're doing is you're putting yourself in a confined space where you trap yourself unknowingly. So if you're saying the reason why you're not where you are is because of somebody, that means you've given your power to someone else to control you. You've given your power to a situation to control you. So you don't have a say in your own life because you refuse to take accountability for your actions. And this is what for me, the journey has really taught me. Because in the past, growing up as a young child, I was I've always wanted to speak my truth. I've always wanted to say my mind. But I was around adults that just did not want me to speak because to them, what do you know? And for me, I felt like I knew so much and I needed to share, but nobody wants to hear my side of the story. And growing up, I really did not see it as a problem. Let me tell you this. So every little chance I got to speak amongst my friends or those someone I was in a relationship with, I wanted my voice to be louder than their own voice. Like I wanted them to hear me. I don't care what you have to say. I just want you to hear me. And I really did not see it as a problem because coming from where I came from, it was more of shut your mouth, don't say anything. Now, being in that state where I could speak, I don't even want to hear what you have to say. I just want to speak, even though it doesn't make sense. I just shut your mouth and let me speak. I did not see that as a problem. I grew up and I found out that that was inner child trauma. I bottled that up. Growing up, there was so much I had to say, but I did not say that, so it was stuck up in my heart, and it turned to something else. And that's when the ego started controlling, and I refer the ego as the devil started controlling me. And let me say this, many people are slaves to their demon, which I refer to as the ego. Reason why they are being controlled and consumed with fear, doubt, illusion, addiction, and falsehood. Okay, and this is why someone can tell you, oh, I can't change, this is who I am. And that was one lie I used to tell myself. Oh, it's either you accept me who I am or you don't accept me. I didn't know I was being controlled by the ego because I've refused to take accountability for my actions. I really did not want to sit with myself and tell myself, okay, look, this is coming from somewhere, you have to address it, you have to fix it, and that's the only way you set yourself free. But instead, I was so quick to say, oh, the reason why I'm like this is because growing up, nobody allowed me to speak my truth. And that was when the ego had to consume me. So many people they are slaves to their demon, they're slaves to their ego, and that's why they're being controlled by it. And that's what I'm saying, like you have to get to the point where you tell yourself, look, I think this is what is holding me back. And the only way, and that's why many are stuck in their shadow, is their shadow self reflecting, not their true self. When you are in your shadow self, you are not operating from your true self, from your authentic self. You're being controlled by your ego. Okay, that is your shadow self. And when you get to that point where you start taking accountability for yourself, it's you detaching from your ego, and you're telling your ego, okay, you have to go back and let me be in control. But the more you keep saying the reason why I'm like this is because of this person, your ego keeps controlling you, like, yes, that's why you're here. Oh, you have to do, that's why you're here. So accountability is really, really important, and especially in your journey. You really need to take accountability. Like, what am I doing to myself? How did I get to this point? When did I turn to this person? Everything I'm doing right now, is it getting me closer to who I'm meant to be? Am I proud of myself? You need to check in with yourself. Go within and ask yourself questions like, am I doing the right thing? You don't need people to tell you that first. You have to tell it yourself. Like, ask yourself questions. And for me, because I was operating from my ego self, I really did not see that I was projecting on people. That was not the case, because my ego kept telling me, look, this person is the reason why you're like this. So when I was in a relationship with someone that I truly loved, I was approaching from a point of anger, filled anger, like stored up anger. So when this person showed themselves to me, like genuinely who they are, all I did was project on them, because of I was scared to fix my shadow self, because I was scared to address that part of myself. I was scared to take accountability for my actions, right? So when I started this journey, that was when I knew, okay, this is coming from somewhere. I noticed that there was mother wound somewhere, there was inner child trauma somewhere, there was pain somewhere, there was anger issues, there was stubbornness. That was when everything started making sense to me, and that was what built up this demon in me. And it was really, really difficult for me to fight my demon. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, people don't really realize that they are their own demon. Like, you sometimes are your own enemy. Break free from that mindset, that belief that the reason why you are the way you are is because of someone else. Don't give somebody so much power to control you. And it's heavy in Christianity. To be honest, I have to say this. Christians are so quick to say the devil is after my life, the devil is doing this, the devil is attacking me, the devil is. Sometimes you are your own devil, because why? If you keep operating in your ego, which is the devil, when and it got to a point where it possesses you and it controls you, you are the devil. You've created the monster in yourself. And if you're so quick to say, oh, the reason why I'm not growing is because of the devil is attacking me, you're making excuses, and the problem is still there. It's still there, that nothing changes. So you need to be accountable, and accountability is what breaks you free. It's what brings you out from your shadow self. Okay? And for you on the journey, you need to realize that that is what the journey is also doing to you. So the first step is taking accountability. Okay, be accountable for your actions. Okay, the reason why you're this is because of this. Don't be so quick to point it out to someone else. Say the reason why I'm like this is because I gave room for so and so to happen. That was why. Okay, if you messed up, take accountability for it and stop trying to push it to someone else. Find out the root of the problem, how you got to where you got to. If this is like a childhood trauma, if this is like something that you've embodied, mother wounds that you've held on to for a long time, find the root of it and make a decision and be accountable for that. Okay? And that's the only way you can break free from whatever it is that you're dealing with. Don't be so quick to pointing out to the devil is after your life or someone is to know. Take accountability first of all, and then that's where everything starts from. Then you break free. Okay? So also what this means is, if you don't take accountability, you can't break free. Okay? You can't break free, which is you can't tell if you're controlling the situation or you're being controlled by the situation, okay, or by your ego as well. So breaking free has to do with your accountability, and being accountable for the things for what you've caused upon yourself or you brought upon yourself unknowingly helps you transition. But if you don't break free, you don't grow, you don't transition, you don't become the best version of yourself, and you don't awaken to your true self. So that's why it is really, really important for you to be accountable for your actions, so that you can break free, not only break free, but also transition to the best version of yourself, and also awaken to who you truly are. That's what it is, and that's what the journey will also teach you. Okay, and that's what you need to pay attention to. Be in a space where you can demarcate, is this my ego controlling me, or is this me being in control of the situation? And don't give anything outside of yourself to validate you, or don't let anything that's outside of yourself to control you to the point where you're not in control of yourself anymore, because that's where it becomes damaging. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the act of being self-aware. Okay, and let me ask you this. Are you self-aware or are you unaware of the situations that you've brought upon yourself or that is lingering in your life at the moment? Because you need to realize or you need to come to the term where you are self-aware of the things that are happening in your environment, in your life, okay? And if you're unaware, it means that you've made a decision to throw things under the bus. You don't want to talk about it, you don't want to see things for what it is, and then you just want it to be the way it is. And change, growth doesn't happen that way. Okay, so first thing is be aware of the underlying problem that could be limiting you. First of all, be self-aware of the self-sabotage that you do to yourself, how you speak to yourself, the things that you say to yourself, how you treat yourself, because it starts with you. It is how you treat yourself, the things that you say to yourself, that transcend and determines how people, view you and how people see you. Okay, so also self-aware also comes in the part of what harm are you causing to yourself by yourself, the things that you say to yourself, how you view yourself as well, and the things that you allow. Okay, for some of you this could be in regards to the connections that you've created, the bonds that you've created over time. Do you like the way people treat you? Do you like how people talk to you? Do you like how people act around you? Are you okay with it? If you're not okay with it, be self-aware of the situation and ask yourself, okay, why am I being treated this way? For me, that's one way to healing. That's one way of growing and maturing. Because when you are self-aware and you tell yourself, look, okay, I want something better for myself because I feel like I deserve it, you start attracting that for yourself. And if you are being surrounded with things that doesn't align with your needs, you have to also get to the point where you make a decision to put that out. Okay, don't throw things under the bus. Are you aware that you are your own problem? Are you aware that it's the things that you say to yourself that's making you not grow? Are you aware that the reason why you are the way you are is because of how you view yourself? Are you aware that the reason why people can't treat you with so much love is because you don't treat yourself with so much love? Are you aware that the reason why you receive bare minimum is because of how you see yourself? Are you aware that the reason why you are not well tapped in is because you've not made a decision to? That's what I'm trying to say. Know what you want. Be self-aware when the things that you want don't align with what you're experiencing, and make a decision to put that out. Be truthful to yourself. Always stand for the truth and speak the truth at all times. Be truthful to yourself. Make sure you come to that balance where you're like, okay, I think this is what I want. Not I think, I know this is what I want for myself. Even though it doesn't make sense to the next person, I know this is what I want for myself. Be self-aware of the self-inflicting pain that you're causing to yourself. Be self-aware of things that you say to yourself. Be self-aware of the way you view yourself. Be self-aware of that. And this goes also to how people treat you. Do you like how you're being treated like trash? Do you like the way people talk to you? Do you like it? You need to be self-aware and don't act like you don't see things. You see things, and that's what, if people show you who they are, take it for who they are, like that's who they are. And it's your decision to say, do I want to continue with this? Do I want to be with this person? Do I want to keep accepting this? Do I want to keep being treated this way? It is your decision. But first, you have to be self-aware. Sometimes you are your own problem. And that's why I keep going back to being accountable for your action. Introspection. Okay? So if there is a part of yourself that you need to call yourself in order in regards to, you need to do it. You need to face it. You need to be truthful to yourself. Because everything starts and ends with you. And nothing changes until you make a decision. So another thing I want to touch on is the things that you need to be aware of. You need to be aware that you're powerful, you're special, you are not like everyone else. And it doesn't matter who sees you in that light. The first thing is, how do you see yourself? You need to understand that you have so much power within you to create and to destroy anything. So don't let anything outside of yourself destroy you. Don't let anything outside of yourself create your world for you. That's destructive. Don't allow people, situations, circumstances to create the life that you don't want for yourself, and then you're being forced to start living in that reality. No, that's mental destructiveness. Be in a space where you are aware of the situation, you take accountability of it, and also you that's the first step to healing and growing. And then you're aware that okay, I'm a powerful person, I'm a good person, I am this, I am that, right? And I know what I want, I know what I deserve. So I cannot let the situation control me. And let me take it back a bit. Growing up, I was in a space where I had people that really spoke fear into me. Someone literally looked at me and told me, "You will never amount to anything," in my face. I've had cases where people projected their insecurities, hatred on me. And I made a decision. I told myself, I don't want to end up like them because I saw that they were dealing from their past. They were still struggling to come out of who they were. They could not fix their inner child trauma. They could not come out of their shadow self. So they're being controlled by their ego. And I made a decision and I asked myself, do I want to be like them or I want to be better than them? And I chose to be better than them. I did not let the situation control me. I cannot. And I will never let someone else's perspective of who they want me to be in their head to be their own reality or to be my reality. So I have to be self-aware and tell myself, okay, this is what it is. And, re-examine, re-evaluate. Because I realize that I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being. I'm special. I'm not like everyone else. And the moment I start seeing myself like that, everything started making sense. So you are your own weapon for destruction. You are the power. You have the power within you to do anything that you want. Stop letting people control you to the point where you don't even know who you are anymore. Take charge. Take accountability. There's nothing wrong with being accountable. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean you're a weak person or no, that's not what it means. It means that you've matured, you've grown. And now that you're accountable for your actions, nobody can come in to, mess with that because you know who you are and you know what you know. And that's your power. And that's something that nobody can take away from you. So you need to be self-aware, take accountability, and that's when growth happens. So that's what I need to say in regards to this, okay?